Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to the Glitched Out Gaming Podcast. That's right, we're not dead. I am one of your hosts. The Lord X, and joining me, as always, is Israel Pacheco.
Yeah, we're not dead. I guess we're indirectly celebrating Undertaker's 25th anniversary by just not having a show for like 3 weeks. I don't know. When was the last recording? I think it was like late October, early November.
No, not last week, but the week before that. We haven't missed that
Yeah,
much. We just missed one
been
weekend. We're a little delayed this weekend.
yeah. It just feels like a while.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back. And we got an okay show. And last week, anyway, even though we weren't up, you put up a special gamer culture over on your channel.
Yep. About the Nintendo news, their Nintendo Direct, the first one since May, I believe. So I'm sure you'll link it somewhere in the video or the description section down below.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to hear us talk about that, that'll be over there. Who knows? We might mention something here, but I doubt it. Nintendo had a thing, Cloud Strife's in Smash Brothers now. The whole world's melted. So yeah, let's kick off this show like we kick off every show with what we've been playing. And Izzy, take us to a galaxy far, far away before I take us into the future of the
With
Commonwealth.
the wasteland in the future. Like Lord X said, a galaxy far, far away. That is, I've been playing some Star Wars games this week. Two games. The first one I'm going to mention is the classic Super Star Wars, which was originally Super Nintendo back in the day. It just got re-released on PS4 with trophies and some different visual options that you could have the video play with. Like 4:3 aspect ratio with some, designs on the side or pixelated or super crisp. Like, when they do these emulations, they give you all these options. But pretty much my thoughts on it, it's still impossible. I just put up a video today, Brothers Play with my little brother Ben, about Super Star Wars, and we played it for I think a little over 10 minutes, I want to say. It was the shortest Brothers Play that we've done, and I kind of gave up by the end because that game is unforgiving as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was saying it in the video. I'm like, why would they make this? Like, just think you as a fan coming home, putting it in your Super Nintendo and just being crushed by the difficulty. I could see if this was originally meant as like an arcade game, it would make sense to, be a quarter muncher. But as a home console game, it's just outrageous. I gotta look up if there's cheats. I'm pretty sure there has to be some sort of cheats for the game, unlimited lives or whatever. I could not get past the first stage. Just like when I was a little kid, I couldn't get past like the first stage or two. But yeah, that's the first Star Wars game. The second one is Star Wars Battlefront, one of the biggest releases of the year. One of my most anticipated games of the year as we've moved into this time of year, because at the beginning I was excited for it, but the closer we got, the more excited I got. And I have to say, this is going to be one of my games of the year. I'm super high on it right now, to be honest. Like, I agree. There's some people complaining about the lack of content in the game, which is definitely an issue. There's no single player story campaign. There are some single player options, but it's really like cooperative or against NPCs, I should say, or not NPCs, but AI bots. But yeah, it's fantastic. Everything else, like, it looks gorgeous. It looks incredible. It sounds incredible. All the locations are really well crafted, all the different maps. All the modes that are in multiplayer are fun, which is something extremely rare for me to be playing all the modes that are included in a multiplayer game. Usually like in Call of Duty, for example, or Halo or any other multiplayer game, I'll stick to Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch. In this, I'm trying every mode. Like, I'm trying their equivalent of Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, hero versus villains, which basically you play as either heroes or villains, as the title says. So either Luke, Leia, or Han versus Vader, Palpatine, and Boba Fett, and some other players there. So every round it changes, and you get to be different players. And there's Hero Hunt, which you play either a hero. I think there isn't a villain hunt. I think it's just heroes, but you play like Luke, Leia, or Han, and then you have to chase them. I believe there's a villain equivalent, if I'm not mistaken. And that's super fun. So whoever kills the hero or the villain becomes that character, and then you have to get the most kills, and there's like a timer associated with it. Then there's like Droid Run, which you have to protect these little droids as they move across the map. Then there's basically capture the flag, I guess, with the pod, with different pods, and there's just a bunch of modes, and they're all really fun. Walker Assault is the biggest of them all, which incorporates like everything into it. Like you use ships, you use like regular characters. You could get in the AT-ST, AT-AT. You could get in the X-wing, the A-wing, a TIE fighter. It's nuts. Like the scale of this game is incredible, and it's super easy to get into, which is, I think, why right now I'm so into it. It's definitely more arcadey than the rest of the shooters out on the market. A lot of people I see comparing this to something like GoldenEye back in the day that was super accessible but super fun. Like I'm not getting frustrated when I play it online. Like I feel like I have a chance. Like I'm pretty good at shooters online, but this in particular, like it doesn't bother me. Like sometimes I'll play other shooters and I'll be getting owned all the time. But this, it's more fun. It's more arcadey. And I've put the timer on the multiplayer. It says 3.5 hours so far, but that doesn't include the missions, which are like I'm trying to remember the name of them now, but basically co-op missions that you could do that I've been doing with my friends and my little brother. The survival, that's what it's called, and there's just 15 waves of enemies coming at you, and it's super fun, and they're not always going to hit you from the same angles or anything, so it kind of reminds me of Left 4 Dead. Like it kind of changes every round, but it's super fun. This is definitely one of my games of the year, and I'm shut up about it now because I've been talking about it for too long, but Star Wars Battlefront has definitely delivered. The only downer for me so far has been that there isn't too much there in terms of content, and you could definitely see where this game was, I don't want to say rushed because everything that's there is super polished, but they were just making sure that they made something that's bare bones and works great mechanically and looks great, sounds great, and then they would sell you additional content, which I don't think is ready at the moment, to be honest. I think DICE got their hands on this, project, and they've been working really hard on it since they got their hands on it, and they just couldn't deliver something this holiday that was fully fleshed out. I cannot wait for the sequel for this, because the sequel is going to be even crazier. Like the foundation that they have here is incredible, and it's super fun.
Yeah, they saved all that extra content for the $70 season pass.
Yeah, that's right. It's $70 in Canada. It's going to be $50 here in the States, which is still a lot of money. I don't know right now. I'm on the fence about it, but what I have played and what's there in the game is super fun, and it's super accessible. So if we're kind of on the fence about this, definitely check it out. I don't know if it's available for rent, like at a Redbox or something, but give it a shot. If you're one of those people who are more casual shooter fans and you're a Star Wars fan, like this is a no-brainer. Like it's so fantastic just hearing like John Williams score for all these different characters, and it just feels so Star Wars to me. And there's never been a Star Wars game of this high caliber in terms of its production. I don't think ever, because the last one that I can think of was probably The Force Unleashed. And I really enjoyed the first one. There was some issues in terms of like glitches and difficulty spikes and stuff like that. And then the second one came out and it was kind of half-assed, to be honest. But it came out at the perfect time because Star Wars hype is at a fever pitch right now. I cannot wait for this new movie. Actually, playing this game, I ended up watching A New Hope again for the first time in a long time. I'm probably going to watch Empire later tonight. And it deals with the original trilogy, so you don't have to worry about the prequel nonsense. But yeah, I'm really impressed with it, to be honest. Like I didn't think I was gonna like this game as much, and I never played the original Battlefront games, so it's not like I was going into this like, oh, I'm a fan of the Battlefront series. I'm a fan of Star Wars, and it's just hitting on all cylinders right now. It's super fun.
Nice.
So half an hour later, I talked about Battlefront.
Well, I do have a few things on my list before I dive into Fallout 4. I tried playing The Witcher 3 again. I thought I would give it one more shot before Fallout came out. And again,
not happening.
It's not happening. That game is not even making my top 10 this year.
What about it specifically is turning you off? Is it like the gameplay mechanics, the world, the characters? I don't know.
I don't know. I found it a little bit stiff, like when you're walking around in that and trying to line up like in the right position to talk to somebody or to examine something. Yeah. That kind of bugged me from time to time. And I wasn't getting hooked into the story at all. It didn't grab me. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably give it another shot again next year at some point. Just because I have it, I will try to play it again. It'll be one of those games. I finished up Lego Dimensions since we last recorded and got the Platinum Trophy in that.
Oh, nice.
God, I love that game. That game was so damn good. Like, it's probably my favorite Lego game that I've played now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just because they brought in so many franchises together and made it work in such a great way. I also played the Doctor Who expansion as well. That was really fun. And, well, just this past week, I played Telltale's Game of Thrones Episode 6, The Ice Dragon. It's alright. It was good. I'm going to say that I felt like an asshole throughout the complete episode because I was making decisions that got several people killed. But I was like, if I don't make those decisions, I'm probably going to die. So, yeah, it was stuff like that. So that was kind of painful to get through, but it was alright. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and they've confirmed recently that, yes, they are doing a Season 2, so that's why certain things were left open and not finished. So, that's the thing.
Okay.
We'll probably get Season 2 sometime in 2017 by the way they roll out episodes. Unless you're Minecraft Story Mode, where they're putting it like one every 2 fucking weeks, apparently. So yeah, I played that. That was alright. You can see my live stream. The full thing is up over on YouTube. And, of course, Fallout 4. Fallout 4. If I haven't been playing Fallout 4, I've been thinking about Fallout 4. That game is so damn good. But being so damn good it is unforgiving as fuck as well. Like, it is... I was playing on normal difficulty and had to switch it down to easy because I was getting wrecked left and right. And I'm still dying a lot in the game. I do have a few, one little story I can tell here in a bit, but I'll get to that after something else. The gameplay mechanics work really well. As I was saying, it's hard. The VAT system now, when you go into VATs, it doesn't freeze everything anymore. It just puts it in slow-mo mode.
Oh, okay.
So things are still moving and, like, attacking you. You just got like a little extra time to make a decision on where you're shooting at them. So that was a new upgrade to that. The music in the game is so great. Like, you're going through, even not listening to the radio. The radio is actually pretty cool. I've been listening to it more recently, but just going through an area, listening to the soundtrack in the background, and then the music starts ramping up. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck is around me now causing this to happen? Sort of deal. The Wasteland, or I'm sorry, the Commonwealth is very beautiful. Like, it's not as dark and grungy as Fallout 3 was. Like, the sky is blue. There's lots of color around. Yeah, graphics-wise, I know a lot of people complain, like, oh, it doesn't look that good like a next-gen game. It doesn't matter. It looks like a next-gen Fallout. Like, it's still very pretty, and you have those moments, too, where it's like, wow, this is gorgeous. Like leaving the vault for the very first time, and you get that one scene where you're just looking around while you're standing on top of the entrance, and it's like, wow, this place is beautiful. Let's see, what else? Gameplay mechanics, really good. Shooting's fine. Sure, it's not stacking up to your first-person shooters and that kind of deal, but it's Fallout shooting, the RPG kind of shooting. The building mechanics. Oh my god. I have gotten lost into this so much. The other night when I got home from work, I was like, oh, I'll turn on Fallout. I'll, like, do a mission maybe before I go to bed. I ended up spending 40 minutes building in my settlement. Because I just wanted to build. It's so much fun building up structures and, like, defenses for your place. Which brings in the other new aspect into this game now, which I believe we talked about prior to the release of Fallout 4. How junk is now useful, and how it's becoming a hoarder's dream. This is very much true. I see a toy car now, and I don't think, that's just junk. I see that and I think, oh my god, that's a screw. I can use that. So, gotta pick it up. Gotta pick up cleaners. Gotta pick duct tape. Oh my god, duct tape is like gold treasure in this game. Like, finding that, it's like, good, now I can make more mods for my weapons. It was brilliant what they did with, like, making everything in the game so damn useful. Like, everything holds a purpose now. It is fantastic. So now, just before I wrap this up, let me tell you a little tale about what happened to me while I was exploring. This goes into the difficulty of it and some of the experiences you can gain in Fallout. I was traveling across the top part of the map, and I came to this little settlement, a couple little houses, and this big tower. It's like, okay, I'll go there. I get there, I see a couple of people dead in the two little shacks, so I loot them. There's this chest there, can't open it. Next thing I know, I see a bandit, or a raider, sorry. Lock onto him with VATS. He has a little skull next to his name, which usually means they're a higher level than you, and you should get the fuck out of there. Thankfully, I was able to defeat him without too much issue, and a couple others that were with him. Cleared that. And I was like, okay, time to go up through the tower to see what's there. Couple little bombs on the way, which I managed to defuse and take before they go off and kill me, like so many mines have in the game so far. I make my way right up to the top of the tower. Everything seems fine. There's a switch there for a siren, and there's a body and a chest. Get all the good stuff. Then I hear more raiders, and I hear shooting. Like, oh fuck, there's more of them. My companion starts to go down automatically to go fight them. Me, on the other hand, I jump up onto the ledge of the tower and look down, and I lock on with my VATS. There's the raider. Another raider. Another raider. A Deathclaw, which is fighting them, which are essentially one of the hardest enemies in the game. You see a Deathclaw, you get the fuck out of there unless you're wearing power armor and you've got a minigun with you, or essentially, if you don't have the firepower and level to take it on, you run away. It's like, oh shit, okay, that's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more enemy there, and my VATS lock onto it. It is a Alpha Deathclaw. That's right, 2 fucking Deathclaws roaming around in this one little area. I try shooting a little bit. I watch the Deathclaws kill off the raiders. I try attacking the Deathclaws a little bit. Can't really lock onto them well enough to fight, so I go back up through the tower. I crouch and I wait for the danger thing to disappear, to caution, to hidden, and I fast travel the fuck out of there. Later on, I actually fast travel back there, and right away a Deathclaw's attacking me. There's also a
Wow.
video I put up onto Twitter as well where I try running away and I get so far and I turn around and look behind me. The Deathclaw randomly falls out of the sky.
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
Yeah, so that happened. But yeah, the game, I am loving it, and after we're done recording and I've got this edited and uploaded, I'm probably going to be diving back into more Fallout.
Jeez.
Simply because I haven't played the last day or so. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up for what I've been playing. I started Wolf Among Us Episode 2 on the Vita, but that's been about it.
Yeah.
Alright, so let us dive into the news. And Izzy, you're going to kick us off with probably our biggest news story for this week.
So, Sony has confirmed something that's been a long time coming, and that is PlayStation 2 emulation is coming to the PS4. It actually already is on the PS4. If you guys got the PlayStation 4 Star Wars Battlefront bundle, it included a voucher for a few PlayStation 2 classic Star Wars games, and those are running on the PS2 emulation. So basically, this kind of came out of nowhere with not much fanfare for whatever reason. It's funny because I was actually reading an article from Digital Foundry who goes through Eurogamer.net, right? And they were talking about PS2 emulation and how it functions and how it works. And then they got Sony to comment on it, and something that these companies never do. They always say, oh, we don't comment on rumor and speculation. They actually commented back at them that, yeah, PlayStation 2 emulation is working on the PlayStation 4. I don't know if we're going to hear something about it at PSX. Maybe some upcoming titles will be hitting the PS4 that worked on PS2, right?
Yeah. Probably some of those titles we mentioned a while back that got ESRB ratings for the PS4. I think it was Dark Cloud 2 was one of them.
Oh, that's true.
And a couple others.
So yeah, this new emulation comes with trophy support, which that's going to be a killer for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Which is really cool, and the games are actually running at a better frame rate that they were on PS2, so they look better, they run better, you have trophies. Yeah, I want to see how they do this, if they're going to keep releasing individual games, I should say, on the PlayStation Network, or this is going to factor into PlayStation Now somehow. Maybe they introduce PS2 classics into that service.
Yep.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
It'll be interesting to see if actual PS2 disc games would work.
Oh yeah,
in the system.
That's a question a lot of people are asking. In my opinion, no way.
No.
They're just going to resell you all the PlayStation 2 games you want to play.
Mm-hmm. Be cool if we get PS2 classics though onto the system and they're like cross-buy with PS3. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I wish they had that. Just PS2 classics, PS1 classics, even PS3 classics. Like, what the hell? Let's just do it. Like, bring everything.
Well, I think the thing is they can easily emulate PS2 and PS1, but PS3 it's more difficult. Mm-hmm. And even if they keep PlayStation Now for the PS3 games, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. So, kind of weird how this was rolled out, to be honest. I think they could have made a bigger deal.
They probably want to. They didn't want to just say it right away.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird with the timing, especially with the Star Wars bundle coming out. Mm-hmm. Confirmed Super Nintendo emulation on PS4 with Super Star Wars. I don't know why we didn't see articles about that. I should make my own article. That'd be funny. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what games I'm gonna replay from the PS2 generation, to be honest.
I would definitely dive into some.
There's a lot of games that I already have the PS3 HD collections for. The games I would play, like God of War, which I have replayed, Shadow and Eco, which I've played a little bit of Shadow. So yeah, it's cool. It's kind of just strange that we're going into the third year of the PlayStation 4 and we're just getting PS2 classics now. Like, really, guys? That should have been there from day one alongside PlayStation 1 classics, but
Mm-hmm.
I know they have other priorities right now, but
Well, better late than never, as I always say.
yeah. Yeah, I hope it works well, though, because I've had a bad
Mm-hmm.
experience with the Xbox One backwards compatibility, which
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mention a game that I tried to play because I didn't play it, and that was South Park: The Stick of Truth. I tried running it on Xbox when I got the digital download. Now that that's one of the games that is supported, and I booted it up, I had some very bad audio, video syncing issues. I thought it might have just been the first cutscene. Then I boot into the character creation, and one of the cutscenes there just was completely out of sync. The one where like your parents were talking, that you just moved into the neighborhood and all that stuff before you create your character. And I was like, okay, screw this. I'm not playing this on here. So I did get like Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment because I had purchased the Gears of War remaster. So that's really cool that I got those for free and I got the download codes and I haven't tried them out yet. But I heard there's some issues with the Xbox One. I experienced it firsthand with South Park. Stuff on the Rare Replay collection I didn't really have issues with. So it's kind of like a case-by-case basis depending on what game it is. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I hope it just works well. It should. It's PS2 emulation, so
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, we can move on to our next news story, I guess. Though I will say, for me personally, for games that I would like to play, I have bought a few PS1 or PS2 classics that I would love to dive into if they do the cross-buy thing. Few JRPGs. I mean, the Digital Devil sagas, stuff like that, which I never got around to playing on my PS3, probably won't, so I'd love to get them over on PS4. And I hope to fuck that they allow streaming of PS1 and 2 classics if they bring them in, because that would be fantastic.
yeah.
Okay, so next news story, which made me smile quite happily, and that is Sega is making a new Valkyria Chronicles for PlayStation 4. And there is a trailer and screenshots up now for the game, and holy fuck, it looks gorgeous. I mean, gorgeously beautiful. It wasn't in the actual link that I provided us, though. But yeah, this is awesome news that they're doing that. But they're not only doing this, they're also remastering the original Valkyria Chronicles for PlayStation 4 as well. And that game is awesome. It is just awesome, and if you haven't played it, you should. It's up on Steam. You can still get it on PS3, probably a little harder to find there, but yeah, Valkyria Chronicles is an awesome series. Hopefully, if the remaster of the first one does well, they'll bring over the second one, and maybe finally bring North America the third one over.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited. I am really excited for this.
I saw the screenshots for it, and it looks really nice. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but the screenshots that I saw were really nice. This is a series like I always wanted to try, but I just never did for whatever reason. It's cool that this is coming to PS4. As of right now, it's Japan only, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't, announced it for the West yet, I should say. The West, yes. What the hell am I talking about? The West yet. So we'll see. Hopefully this comes, to the West.
Yep. It better. Sega, if you do, I'll actually buy a Sonic game again. I promise.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. But, yeah, moving on, I guess.
Yep.
There's nothing else for us to mention on that one.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm completely off base. Thing is, because I can barely hear out my left ear right now. It's clogged, so it's kind of throwing me off balance. But all right, the next story we have here is a delay, and it's a delay for Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which was supposed to be coming out in February, is now coming in August 23rd to be exact. It's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
It must have heard the Nintendo news and just got the fuck out of February.
I guess they decided to move it to August. I don't think that's a bad time for the game. But it's kind of strange, and it's many months later, right?
I think I know why. August, augment,
August, your order? What? I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying now. But yeah, this game's got delayed. It doesn't really bother me because I've never played any of the Deus Ex games. I've always wanted to play the last one, Human Revolution, but never got around to it. The delay personally doesn't really affect me, but I think it's cool that they're trying to make the best game possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, more time to work on it. Good stuff. Take your time.
Yeah, I got other stuff to play in February or March, so.
And August, that's great. That's during the summer where there's not usually a ton of games.
Yeah.
But Persona 5 will be out then, so who fucking cares about Deus Ex?
It does look good. Like
yes.
It's just something I really don't have any attachment to personally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks cool.
Indeed. All right, and for our final news story this week, we do have a news story that will lead us into our topic of the week, actually, and that is Chivalry Medieval Warfare is coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on December 1st. That's right. Torn Banner Studios' melee-based action game is coming to PS4 and Xbox One digitally on December 1st for $19.99. Publisher Activision announced. Maybe they can... I'm amazed they can... Well, Jesus, I'm stumbling now. Fuck. I guess
it's
they
contagious.
I'm surprised they're doing this. I mean, they got no money left after buying fucking Candy Crush. A $29.99 Ultimate Edition will also be available, which includes the full game plus the Barbarian Character Pack, Marauding Arbiter Pack, Inquisitive Dreadnought Bundle, and Barbarian Weapon Pack add-ons. The PS4 or Xbox One versions of Chivalry Medieval Warfare feature 24-person online multiplayer, over 25 maps, dedicated server support, and a new Horde mode for teams up to 6. Awesome. So yeah, this game is really cool. I played a bit of it on PC. It's quite fun. It's one of those ones where it's a bit on the realistic side, so you could probably be fighting somebody and, attacking them over and over and over again, trying to kill them, or you can stab them in the face and they'll die instantly. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So
I've heard some good things about this game, but it doesn't seem like something that'll appeal to me, especially if it's realistic, because I'll just rage if somebody kills me.
Part of me is hoping that since this is coming out on the 1st, maybe a PlayStation Plus game for August? Huh? That
wouldn't be too bad. I'd try it out if it was PlayStation Plus. They need some more stuff on their platform. Yeah. I wonder what they're going to put next month, to be honest. But but yeah, I guess that wraps it up for the news section of the show.
Huh. I'm just looking at the ads on the bottom of this article for Play Asia, and there's Dead or Alive Extreme 3.
Oh, no.
For $396 for Canadians. It's the PS4, PlayStation Vita Collector's Editions put together.
Wow. Somebody's going to buy that.
Somebody. It won't be me, but it'll be somebody. Of course, they bring that to North America. But anyways, let us dive into our topic of the week. And, we got a couple of things this week, but we're going to kick things off with the games of December. We're doing them a week early because next week we figured we might do PSX predictions.
Yeah.
So, December. Not a whole lot here, so this is an easy list to read. Of course, this is subject to change, and probably a whole bunch more being added in that's not on this Wikipedia list. So, we have on December 1st, Chivalry Medieval Warfare for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Because sworn I just talked about that. Just Cause 3 for Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. And Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege for Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. On the 2nd, we have Valhalla Hills for Windows. On the 3rd, we have Rayman Adventures for iOS and Android, and Dragon Quest Heroes Digital Slime Edition for Windows. On the 4th, we have Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. X gonna give it to you.
I was just about to say that.
On the 8th, we have Earth Defense Force 2 Invaders from Planet Space. That is an amazing name for the PlayStation Vita. And Earth Defense Force 4.1 The Shadow of Despair for PlayStation 4. On the 10th, we have Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 for Windows. I'm sorry, PC Master Race. On the 11th, we have Devil's Third for the Wii U. Izzy's really excited. On the to be announced front, we have Helldivers making its Windows release, and Pokemon Picross for the 3DS. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Everything else, well, except for Just Cause 3, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it seems kind of, I don't know, a disappointing month. I guess. Well, Xenoblade Chronicles X looks good. I'm still on the fence about that one. Just Cause, I haven't played any in the franchise. So I heard they're pretty fun. Rainbow Six kind of lost his luster within the time that it was announced, and now there's been so much. You remember what was Rainbow Six Patriots, and then that got canceled, and then they did Rainbow Six Siege, and then they took out the campaign. I don't know what the hell's going on with that game, and it's a shame because the Rainbow Six series, especially online back in the day, was kick-ass on the original Xbox. Played a crap ton of Rainbow Six 3 back in the day.
Yeah. I will say, though, I've been watching a few videos online of what the Achievement Hunters did with it, and the terrorist attack mode does look fun again.
Okay. That's not too bad, but it's just coming out at a bad time. Right now, I'm just... There's too many shooters. I'm playing Battlefront. I haven't played Halo yet. I need to play through Call of Duty. I don't think it's a good time for shooters right now.
True.
And Xenoblade, it's a massive game. So, and I got other stuff to play, which we'll be discussing soon. But Devil's Third, why? Just don't
It's got to come out,
I think Nintendo's reputation has really gone down the shitter these last few months because the Mario Tennis game came out and it got panned.
Yeah.
It's getting terrible reviews. Same thing with Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Same thing with Fatal Frame. Now Devil's Third. It's been a craptastic holiday season for Nintendo this year. They had Mario Maker, and I do have my issues with it, but I know it's a good game. But beyond that, I guess Xenoblade will be the thing that reinvigorates Nintendo fans, but it's really a more niche JRPG. It's not a mainstream Nintendo game. Yeah. So that's disappointing, but yeah, I really don't see myself picking up anything, to be honest, from this list right here. Maybe Xenoblade. I'm still on the fence about that, but I'm not sure yet.
Right.
How about you? I guess just Xenoblade, right? Just Cause, maybe?
Both of them, actually. I do have both pre-ordered. So, yeah, Just Cause 3 and Xenoblade for me, which means for Just Cause I have 1, 2, 3 days to play before I get lost into Xenoblade. I'm kind of interested. Depending on the price of them, I'm sort of interested in the Earth Defense Force games.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a couple that I look for on sale eventually.
The hell is up with Helldivers? That was a PlayStation exclusive and is now coming to PC. It's weird. That's a Sony published game. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is, actually. But hey, good. More people get to play it now.
Yeah. I still haven't played it, so...
Yeah, me neither, actually.
But, yeah.
So we can move into the second half of our topic of the week here this week. Since we have covered now officially all of the games of 2015. Well, kind of. It is time to talk about the games that we want to try and finish before the end of the year. Stuff that we're probably currently playing and trying to get through Fallout 4, and stuff maybe that we haven't even touched yet that we want to play in order to make our games of the year list.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I think I'm gonna boil it down to maybe 5 games.
Okay,
not right now, because I'm kind of doing these off the top of my head to be honest. But just probably like when I actually sit down and I'm like, okay, December, this is what I'm gonna be playing throughout December or whatever. But I guess we could trade off and go back and forth on some games. First game that comes to mind is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. That game is massive. I got like 20 hours into it, and I'm not even like halfway. Like, it's nuts. But I definitely want to finish it, and because I've heard things change like towards the end, like the perception of that game changes when you finish it compared to when you're like playing through it. Like, I've heard a lot of people are like so high on it as they're playing it, and then they get to the end, and the end's pretty damn lackluster, and it kind of changes your stance on that game. So I definitely want to get through it. I want to get through. I believe I finished Act 1 yet? I don't even think so. But there's like Act 1, and then you go into Act 2. So I definitely want to finish that and see, because I was super high on it. Like, it was my game of the year as I was playing it, but. Being realistic now, man, my words are completely off today. Like, I got all types of accents in me. Like, what am I, freaking Mick Foley? I got like personalities in one person. But yeah, that's definitely one for me. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and I know it's going to be one for a lot of people that they're not going to finish. Like, usually I'd be done with a Metal Gear game by now because they're very linear and they're not as massive as this, but this is a special case with this one. I'll throw it over to you to see what's one of the games that you like to finish before the end of the year.
I'm looking at a few that I've written down here now. A couple of them I've only like touched on, and pretty sure I won't even be able to finish it, but I'd like to play through a lot more of Disgaea 5. That game was so much fun starting off, and the characters are great into it. They're basically clones of a couple of wrestlers into it, which I found quite funny. But yeah, the strategy game there, and it's hard because I think the only one I've ever finished in Disgaea was the original one. So I'm not even going to say I'm going to finish this game by the end of the year. I just want to get through
more time.
Put some more time into it. Try and get through most of the story if I can. But that's a like high level SJRPG, so that's probably going to be like 60, 70 hours there alone for me to get through. But yeah, I definitely want to play some more of that one.
Yeah, for me, I'm going through a list right now of all the releases for the year. That's why I was quiet for a little bit. But I'm up to March now because all the other stuff, like Dying Light, I don't see myself putting time into that. Like, it's not going to be a contender for Game of the Year, so I don't see myself putting... I know we both agree, like, we don't know what the hell Colin sees in that game, but one of the March releases that I haven't played is Bloodborne, which I do want to try out. I do own it now because my brother got it as one of the games from the prize package from the PlayStation contest. He got like a bunch of first-party titles or first/second-party titles. And I told him, I'm like, you can keep all the other games, but I want Bloodborne. So I do have Bloodborne there ready to go.
Nice.
I definitely want to try it because I've heard great things from you, and I've heard like terrible things from like another one of my friends. Like the game just like broke him. Like he couldn't take it. Like he had to get rid of it because he was like, F this game, right? But I've heard great things about the game from you.
thing is with that game, like, you're going to find it difficult at first. You have to grind. That is one thing you have to realize at the beginning. You're going to be grinding the same spot over and over and over for a little while until you're able to move on.
Yeah, I want to at least try it so I can, because I know it's going to be in your game of the year, like within your top 5 or maybe top 10, or maybe even higher. So, I want to be able to discuss this game because it's one of the biggest releases and it's one of like the few PlayStation exclusives that we had this year. So that's definitely one that I want to give a go. And I haven't started it, so it'll be just a fresh new experience for me. So I'll throw it back over to you.
All right, I'm looking through the Wikipedia list now myself. Let's see, I'll go with one that I haven't started yet, but I do own now. And it's a Vita game!
Huh.
I know, right? It's Criminal Girls, invite only. I have that downloaded onto my system. I've been wanting to play through it. I mean, back when it first came out, I loved the Let's Plays that, like, Greg and Nick did and Greg and Tim did onto the game. Those were hilarious.
I haven't watched those. I need to watch those.
They also have one up right now with Nick Scarpino playing Xenoblade Chronicles X for like 40 minutes that I want to watch so badly, but don't want to get spoiled. But yeah, that's one game that I really want to play. I don't think reviews are all that hot onto it, but it's a niche JRPG from NIS. Not everybody's going to love that game. It's weird. It's
a Lord X game.
Yeah, essentially it's a Lord X game. It's just weird and wrong in so many ways. Yep.
All right, so another one for me is definitely one you mentioned earlier, and that is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I put, I think, about 20 hours also into this game, and unlike you, I really enjoyed it. Like, I was super engrossed by the characters, the world, like the narrative. Like, I was super impressed with the world they created, and not only like the main story, but all the little side missions and all the backstory and the lore in this world. But what stopped me from playing it was the actual gameplay mechanics. Like, I was playing for a while, and I felt like I didn't have too much of a grasp in terms of the combat system. Like, it's stiff, and it isn't bad, but it's stiff. It's not as fluid as something like, I know this is like a completely different style of game, but like Batman. Like, it's not as fluid as Batman. It's not as fluid as like a God of War. Like, it's not as fluid as a action game, pretty much. Like, this is definitely more of an RPG. Like, it isn't bad, but it turned me off from the game because I kept dying over and over. And the way the game's structured, too, I felt like I wasn't leveling up like I should be. Like, I remember Colin talking about this on the Games Cast. Like, he would just play and like he wouldn't level up. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if I'm like, I want to go back into it, but this is like one of those games that it's so time consuming. It's not like Metal Gear. Like, Metal Gear, I could hop back into because the story, I could always listen to the cassette tapes to like refresh my memory. But there's just so much going on that it's overwhelming. So I do want to give it more of a shot, but I don't know where it's going to sit, to be honest, because it's just time sink for me. But when I was playing it, I'm like, wow, this game's fantastic. Like, I'm really enjoying it. The combat's good, but it isn't fantastic. Like, I think if the combat was like super fantastic, like, I definitely would have got through a lot more of this game. But yeah. I don't know. It's because everything else is so good, in my opinion. I know you have a different opinion on it, but like, I don't know, there's something about it. Like, kind of, I think it was actually Batman came out. That's why I stopped playing it. So blame Batman. Because it came out in May and Batman came out in June, and I was like, oh, there goes The Witcher. And I decided to play Batman instead. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm still looking at my list, and most of these, like, I haven't really started, to be honest. I've finished
up to
most
June so far. Like, up to June, and I don't see anything in June, so I'm moving into July now. There probably going to be nothing, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at February, and I just realized there were 2 more Vita games that I do own. One I bought on the day, and one I bought just last month on a sale, actually.
Mm.
The Firefly Diary and Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Blackheart for the Vita. I need to play those, because those would be up there as contenders, but I'll go with something that hasn't really been released yet, but you kind of just mentioned anyway, and that's Bloodborne, The Old Hunters.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that expansion. I've had $20 sitting in my PSN wallet right now just for that alone. And yeah, I finished Bloodborne, something that I haven't done with the other Dark Souls games, so...
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm excited to play more of that. It's not something necessarily going to define me on like making into my Game of the Year list, but
You would
it's
like
more,
to get through it.
yeah, I'd like to get through it. It's more of a game that I've essentially already decided where it's landing in my top 10 list, so
Okay.
yeah, so I want to get through that. Quite looking forward to dying again and again and again.
And again.
And again.
And again.
Yep.
All right, so I'm all the way down to October. So
Wow.
far, there isn't much, I guess, that I'm interested in. But yeah, October, the big release was Halo 5, which, man, like, this is the first Halo game that I do not give a crap about. I'm going to be completely honest.
Well, if you do start playing it, the campaign's only like 4 hours
Oh
long,
yeah,
apparently.
that's crazy, and especially after the reception. Like, I didn't give a crap. Then it was starting to get closer to release, and I was like, okay, I kind of care about it now. And then I saw the reception that it got, especially when it came to the campaign. That was disappointing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely one for me. Just being a fan of the Halo series, like I got to check out what's going on. It kind of sucks that there's so many multiplayer shooters because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to put time into that aspect of the game. At least I'll get through the single player and try out the other modes of like multiplayer. But I don't know. Like I do definitely want to try it out because generally I typically enjoy the Halo games, but for whatever reason this one's just not. It's not clicking for me.
Oh, that's disappointing. Looking back at my list again, well, there's one that came out early in the year, actually, which I only played a little bit of, but I really would like to get back to it after hearing a couple of friends talk about it. And that's Final Fantasy Type 0 that came out early in the year.
Oh, that's right. The re-release, remaster, or whatever.
Yeah, the Vita one, or PSP one, I guess? Yeah, PSP one that came out in Japan. The game was fun to begin with. It was unique and different. I've got a couple of friends who said they've played it. The ending was really good, they said. Or one said it was alright, one said it was really good. So I think with that one, what distracted me was the demo for Final Fantasy 15. I got into that a lot more than I did with this one, and then stuff like Bloodborne came around, and I just never got back to it.
I forgot I played through that demo. I think I played through it twice, too. God, that's surprising. I completely forgot about that.
So yeah, that's definitely up there on my list. I'd like to give it another shot anyway before the end of the year. Maybe just like a weekend to try and play as much as possible.
All right, let me see. I'm at the end of October. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be even mentioned in my top 5, so I'm going to skip that. Rise of the Tomb Raider. So we're into November now. That's definitely the last one for me that I need to play. Big fan of the reboot from a few years ago. This was actually originally one of my highest anticipated games of the year. I did a video on it. This is, I think, number 3. Early in the year, and for whatever reason it came out like at a bad time. I haven't played it yet, which is weird. Yeah, that's definitely, I think that's the last one for me. I'm looking through the rest of the calendar year, and we just talked about December early. I don't see myself playing anything else, so Yokai Watch. I'm just thinking of that skit. Bill! Damn, Reggie. I saw somebody do now again sidetrack. I saw somebody do a remix of that on YouTube, and I could not
Oh,
stop
God.
laughing. It was like Bill, 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 Bill. I was like, really? It was so fun. And then there was this other video. It was just like Reggie, and he's like, Bill, 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 fuck. Somebody made him like the last time he says Bill, they inputted like fuck instead. I could not stop laughing. It was so funny. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for me. So I mentioned Bloodborne, The Witcher, Metal Gear, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Halo 5. I'm gonna write this down. That's what games I need to finish. So I guess for you, probably Xenoblade will be the last thing if there's nothing else in November.
Yeah, Xenoblade and Just Cause 3, essentially. And, of course, finishing Fallout 4, which is probably my plan for the next, 2 weeks before Just Cause comes out.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's a big game, though.
Yep. Well, I can probably get through the story. I've heard that you can essentially get through the story fairly easily without grinding too much. It's just getting distracted by all the side missions and whatnot.
Yeah, I think there's one that I forgot to mention, and that is
WWE 2K16.
No, I don't see that in my list. I don't know. It's been a really long time since a wrestling game got me hooked. Like it's been probably like over a decade, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a Yoshi's Woolly World. That I started and I really enjoyed it. I just haven't got back to it. So that's definitely one I have to give a try. I'll throw this on the list here, so I got 6 games. When did that come out? Was it September, late October? Can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime mid-October. But yeah, I guess that's it for us in terms of games we want to complete to have in our Game of the Year discussion, because I'm looking at because I've been writing my Games of the Year so far. Some of those are on here, some aren't, so I don't know. I might just maybe stick to 5, or maybe because some of these are like really time consuming. Like Halo 5, like realistically, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Halo 5, and Woolly World, I could see myself getting through before the end of the year. But MGS5, Witcher, and Bloodborne, I don't know if I'll be able to do those. I want to try Bloodborne, like I really do, but I have a fear it's just going to really piss me off. I know I'm going into it knowing that it is a frustrating game and you have to be very methodical, like as you're moving throughout the world and being very careful. So yeah, I'm intrigued. Like I want to feel that feeling because I haven't played any of the Demon Souls / Dark Souls games, and but yeah, I guess that wraps up our discussion. Our topic of the week for games that we want to complete before the end of the year. I'm sure there's more games. I'm surprised that this year there's not as many as last year that I want to complete, because I remember last year having like a massive list of like 20 games I wanted to finish. There was like Bayonetta 2 and like a bunch of other games that came out last year. Like,
I'm almost in the same boat as you, but I think for me it's the fact that I've finished most of the games that I was really excited for.
Yeah.
So I don't have as much now, like, coming up to the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely going into, I guess we could briefly talk about this, but definitely going into 2016, like, I need to lay off buying all this shit. Like, just being completely honest, like, I need to, like, buy one game and stick to it.
Didn't you say that last year?
And I said that last year. I did a little better this year, but then I got into, like, every year I've been progressing in terms of my spending habits, but then for whatever reason I just crack. But going into this year, goals, sticking to less games. Like, less is more, definitely. And what it looks like in terms of release schedule so far, it's definitely going to be less is more for me in at least the first quarter. Like it's really just Street Fighter 5 in February and Uncharted in March. And going into April, Star Fox. I don't know if April's also Quantum Break or May. So there isn't a massive amount of things, but...
Yeah, for me, the first half of the year is just getting worse and worse. After that Nintendo announcement, I was just like, oh yeah,
because those Dragon Quest games and everything that's coming. It's really just Star Fox for me in terms of Nintendo, at least until the NX drops. Like, there's stuff I want to go back and play on the Wii U, like Bayonetta 2 and I'm trying to think, like Captain Toad. Different games like that, but they're not like a necessity. Like Bayonetta 2 is probably like the number one on my list that I need to play on Wii U that I haven't played, because I've played a pretty good amount of the games I have released on it. Like trying to think of like maybe some more of the obscure stuff, but pretty much like the mainline stuff I've played. So, but yeah, 2016. I'm sure it's going to be a good year, but definitely lay off the damn video game releases. Jesus. Watch, they're going to announce like 3 billion amiibos, and I will be like, God damn those amiibos.
Did you get your Falco, by the way?
Oh, yeah, I did. I got it in the mail. What was it? Was it yesterday I got it? Or today? Can't remember. I think it was yesterday. Was it today? No. It was yesterday, because today I went to visit my mom, and that was alright. I actually saw some at Best Buy that were like, I was surprised that they had some, but since it's exclusive to them, but I've definitely gone down the amiibo hole again. Like, I got one. I'm looking at them right now, because they're right next to my TV. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, I miscounted. 6 and 6, so I got 12 amiibos as of right now. They got me. You're like over 20, aren't you?
27.
Jesus.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh. You
29 actually, because I forgot about the Retro Mario and the Yarn Yoshi that I bought that are like off to the side, away from my other ones. God help me.
Damn amiibos. I want the Shovel Knight amiibo, like 100%. That's the last amiibo I want for this year. Like, I want the Shovel Knight amiibo, and they still haven't gone up for pre-orders at all. I guess they're waiting for that Smash Direct or whatever.
Yeah, to announce that he's in Smash Brothers. Calling it now, he's going to be in it.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given. Like, Best Buy has them up. Like, they have a listing up, but you can't pre-order it, ship it, or store pickup, so... It's December 18th it's coming out, but you definitely want to play those. But yeah, I guess we're just rambling at this point.
Yes, we are.
Wrap up the podcast. Everybody's like, what the hell? These guys went talking the most I was about to say most anticipated, but we went from like games we wanted to finish to like games we're looking forward to amiibos. Like,
yep.
We're just all over the place today. I'm just off today. I don't know what the hell's in the water.
Well, my excuse is I did a 13-hour Jessica Jones marathon yesterday, so my mind's not in the right place right now. I guess we talked that
on the other show.
Exactly.
Cheap plug.
If it comes
static screen, if it ever happens.
Yeah.
Again.
Alright, so that's going to do it for the topic of the week. We have no questions and comments from the last episode, so please, guys, leave us some questions and comments down below. Tell us what you're looking forward to. Before I hand it over to Izzy, I will also say I apologize for the format this week. Podcast is going up, I don't know, lazy style, because just to get it up for you guys.
Dog life.
Next week, hopefully the show will be back to its regular format. Maybe. So, Izzy, with that, why don't you take us away?
So, thanks guys for checking out the Glitched Out Gaming Podcast. Let us know in the comment section down below. What are some of your thoughts on any of the things that we discussed? Games that you would like to complete? Maybe some of the news stories, such as the PlayStation 2 emulation coming to PS4. And for Lord X, I am Izzy, a.k.a. Israel Pacheco 89, and we are glitching out.
Finish the fight.
I was about to say, I'd like to thank Dormilon for our music and and then the other guy for our logo, like the PlayStation blogcast. Uh,
Bye, guys.